Hi, my name's Alex Papp. I'm a 21-year-old composer studying at the Royal Academy of Music, based in London. The main reason I applied for LCO New is it's just an absolutely wonderful opportunity to have a work professionally performed at a fantastic concert venue in London, to have mentorship by a composer whose work is absolutely stunning, who I really like and appreciate myself, to most importantly, I think for most young composers, is to have our works workshopped so that we can broaden our horizons, have our own ideas performed, take risks. And that's what LCO New present to us, to have different stages, different workshops where we can try out new ideas, experiment. And today, for example, having our pieces performed with a larger ensemble before a public performance gives us that opportunity to revise, make corrections, see what worked, what didn't work. I'm feeling very good about the concert on the 23rd at the moment. Having just done our last workshop, my piece is pretty much there. Generally excitement, of course. I mean, it's a professional orchestra, you write your own music, get it performed in front of an audience, what's not to be excited about? Come to the concert, 23rd of September. Unforgettable music, unforgettable people, unforgettable experience.
My name is Darius Paymai. I'm a composer born in California. I've been living in London for 5 years now, where I studied at the Guildhall School. I finished there last year, and I'm on the LCO New scheme this summer. I applied for the scheme because I thought it'd be interesting, A, to work with a professional orchestra, which I'd never done before, B, to meet some of the composers who are sort of at a similar stage in our orchestral composing careers. Working with Freya has been great. There were lots of questions about the practicalities of how to get the score in a way that is helpful for Christopher to work with, how to get the parts in a way that is helpful for the musicians to understand what we want. And so not only does Freya know very well how to do that in a general sense, but also she knows the LCO very well. So it's been really good to have her hone in on those practicalities, which are so important when you multiply it out to an orchestra. I often like to present the listener with something kind of static, and instead of the music pulling you along with it, I hope that perhaps you can just sit and listen around through this thing that just doesn't really move or change very much. Come along to the concert on the 23rd of September. There'll be 5 pieces by us, a new piece by Danny Howard, and Dvorak 9, which is always great. It's at St John Smith Square, which is a beautiful room, and it'd be nice to see you.
It's really great to work with Freya because she has the experience of working with this specific orchestra, not necessarily just large ensembles or orchestras, so she knows the people well. Some of the things that I've written in the piece came from her ideas, and I think you value that as a composer when you're working on your own a lot, just the input of someone else. Yeah, so it's been really good. The things I would say I benefited from are the fact that everyone is just a really great musician and can read really well, and just basically you put something in front of them, they're basically able to play it, which is really amazing. I'm really looking forward to the concert on the 23rd. I'm also going to be playing improvised bass with the orchestra, and that's the first time I've done that with such a large group. And in the more classical world, let's say. I'm used to improvising with small groups and improvising musicians. And it's the first time I've been a soloist with another group. So I'm just really excited and looking forward to playing and hearing my music played at the same time. I would encourage other organizations to set up composer schemes because it's a brilliant opportunity for those composers involved, especially those who aren't necessarily in education currently, or who've finished, or they don't have access to ensembles or mentoring. It's very hard to find commissions, especially as a beginning composer, if you don't have the opportunities like this to get you started.
I'm Florence Maunders. I'm a composer. I live in the UK and I write music for all kinds of different ensembles, instruments, and voices also. One of the things that makes the LCO New program really useful and really good is that it's quite a sort of extended program, so there's lots of different opportunities to actually work with the musicians, to talk to Freya, their mentor, and to actually change and develop the pieces as it goes through. I think the scheme's really kind of even exceeded my expectations. Personally, I love it. It's something I'd want to be doing every day if I had the opportunity to be working with musicians and putting music in front of them. Today I've had an opportunity to work with Christopher, and it's just great to have had so much time. I didn't realise it was going to be so extended. It's been fab. I think I do a lot of my composing internally before I sit down with paper or at the computer to put things together. So I try to imagine the whole sounds before I create. So a lot of the composing process is actually trying to find a way of basically notating or describing in some way the music I want to then be played by the players. So if you're watching this and you're on the fence about whether or not you should come to this concert, then you absolutely should. In fact, I would insist that you must. It's going to be a whole load of absolutely original music, some of which you will have never ever possibly get the chance to hear again, a unique and one-off experience.
I'm Robert Crean. I'm a composer for the LCO New Scheme. I'm originally from Luton in Bedfordshire, and I studied at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire and then later at the Guildhall. One of the things that really drew me to the LCO New Scheme was the opportunity to write for the orchestra and to be able to work with them closely and to have a piece performed by them publicly, which I think is I feel like quite a rare opportunity. Working with the musicians, working closely with them and kind of hearing my sketches kind of come to life through them, and it's given me a lot of inspiration, a lot of ideas to kind of develop them further for the main piece. If anyone was considering applying for the LCO New Scheme or anything like it, I'd say do it, because there aren't many of these opportunities available. So it's best to just take it and run with it, and you'll really enjoy it. You'll have a good time, and then at the end you'll have an amazing piece. The biggest takeaway from the scheme so far, the LCO New Scheme, I think is the invaluable experience of the performers that you're working with, and being able to draw on that to get what it is you want as a composer. And their kind of experience, their knowledge of their instruments is just unparalleled, and it's so invaluable for us as composers to be able to work with that and to help that, to use that to our benefit as well. Come to the concert, 23rd of September, be there.